to this edition of Supervisors Report with County Board President David Haubert. I'm your host, Dr. Marshall Kamina. Joining me now is Supervisor Haubert. Welcome, Supervisor.
Thanks for having me, Marshall. Great as always.
What topic or announcement would you like to share with us today?
You know, for Supervisor's Choice, I'd like to make a little bit of an announcement to the public that we recently recommitted to the Falk EMS, Emergency Management System provider. They run the ambulances throughout all of Alameda County. They will be extended by an additional year so that we will have some stability in the ambulance providing system, but they will also be working with us to transfer the exclusive operating system to an open operating system, which means instead of Falk having 100% exclusive operating contract with the county, we are going to let all ambulance providers, as long as they meet a certain criteria, to operate within Alameda County. That's very important for the Tri-Valley area because more than just Falk, other operators will be able to transport patients throughout the county system. That means that when we have had long wait times because maybe the Falk ambulances get called away to go serve the city of Oakland and they have to fight traffic to get back to the Tri-Valley, and they're often late. They have been historically late, and the mayors of the Tri-Valley and I have been very upset with that. We're going to be able to have multiple ambulance service providers work in the Tri-Valley. So that's going to increase the quality of service in the Tri-Valley. It's going to shorten response time, and it's going to be better for our patients in the Tri-Valley.
There must have been a great negotiation, but what a wonderful conclusion.
It will be. It will be. So I want people to know we're working hard to improve ambulance services in the Tri-Valley. We're going to do it by making it an open system.
Thank you. I entitled this question Toy and Food Drive, and I only get to ask it once a year because you have this wonderful event. Your office has had a just enormously successful Christmas party benefiting the children in our district who really do need attention. It's become so big, you even had to expand it beyond your already voluminous headquarters. And so I hope you might give us some of the highlights of this event that has just taken place.
Marshall, my staff did the research and found out that this was actually the 14th annual Toy and Canned Food Drive. Again, started by my predecessor, Supervisor Haggerty, always held historically at the Heritage House, a wonderful place to open up the Heritage House, let people come in and see the house, and also use it to provide food and toys for children in need. He did a great job with it, and when I became supervisor, I carried on the tradition. We have every year increased the number of toys and canned food that we bring in. I appreciate you attending as often as you can every single year, but you notice just how crowded the house has become. And it's been popular. It used to be somebody would drop off a toy and leave. Now they stick around because it's such a great event.
Yes.
It got so big, we decided to move it into the farmhouse, a property located there on the fairgrounds. I want to thank the Alameda County Fair Board for helping to make that room available to us. Twice the space as the Heritage House. And we filled it. It's twice as big, and yet we filled it. Every year this event gets bigger and better. We had the fire department come by and bring some toys, the sheriff's department come by, the CHP officers come by, other local businesses, and of course individual people come and drop off toys. We had double what we had last year. And the amount of food that we bring in, and the next day, it all went out to people in need. Moms were able to come in and pick up a gift that they wanted, pick out something that was appropriate for their child. They can't afford a gift of their own. We were able to give them a gift that was appropriate for their child. I'm also proud that my own personal Project Hope, helping others with philanthropy and education. Project Hope was able to collect money to turn into gift cards for those that couldn't come in. We gave them a gift card. So they're able to go shopping. We also supported Shop with a Cop in Livermore. Shop with a Cop is a great program that an officer will go shop with a youth and buy a gift for them. We were able to provide a donation to Shop with a Cop. What it proves is we've always known, and it just showed that much greater, that Tri-Valley is a very generous community. Those that have a little extra will be supporting, can support, want to support, are willing to support those in need. And that's what the Tri-Valley is all about.
I'm really overwhelmed because that is a gigantic event, and you must have a staff that is very dedicated. I know that to be the case.
We worked hard.
Would you tell us, please, a bit about Measure W and the Home Together Fund?
Yes. Measure W is a Alameda County tax measure, collects a half-cent additional sales tax, is used to, meant to reduce homelessness. And it was passed by the residents of Alameda County 5 years ago, 2020. It was immediately met with litigation. And the Taxpayers Association felt that the tax was an inappropriate tax. They litigated the county, and the county won. So the money that was collected for Measure W was just being increased each year, being saved into an account, but couldn't be spent while it was in litigation. Well, we won the litigation, so now we have a bucket of money that's been saved up for 4 years, and we're allocating it to various needs. We're allocating it to 4 different topics, one being prevention. If somebody's teetering on becoming homelessness, we're going to find ways to keep them out of homelessness.
Divert.
Better prevention is worth a pound of cure. Mm-hmm. So rather than get somebody out of their house onto the street, try to get them into another shelter, we're going to try to keep them where they are currently living till they can get back on their feet. Another one is for immediate shelter, those that are on the street already. They're not going to get fixed when they're on the street. We need to bring them into a shelter. Maybe it's an extended stay hotel, some way to get them out of the street, because they're not going to get well living on the street. The third is increased housing. We're going to be using our dollars to partner with private housing builders to build new homes that can be then provided to those people that are homeless, that then can get a job and then can afford something. It will be provided at a reduced rate. So preventing people from becoming homeless, taking people off the street and giving them a temporary shelter, increasing permanent housing by building new housing and with a nonprofit housing provider. And then the last one is increasing access to services. We know that people that have been on the street, some of them for a decade or more, Marshall, they have health issues, they need to see a doctor. They have mental issues, they need to have meds. They need job placement, because they're not going to interview for a job and get a job when they're living in a tent. So we have to find a way to give them better services. So prevention, shelter, new housing, production, and coordinated services. All of this will be paid for, again, by the generosity of the Alameda County residents who voted to tax themselves an additional half penny on everything that they sell, that they buy, to raise money for these topics, to end homelessness. We've had a lot of discussion about homelessness. The state itself has been ridiculed for spending way too much money and not getting a return. I want to end by saying everything I said sounds really good, but unless you execute well, it is going to be for naught. My hope is, and my commitment is, to execute well this plan. We can talk about it all we want. If we don't execute it well, it's not going to happen. So that's where we're at, Marshall. Measure W, a great opportunity to prove that we can solve homelessness, but it's only going to happen if we execute properly.
Thank you for that thorough answer. I think you should be very proud. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back on this edition of Supervisors Report with the President of the Board, David Haubert, in just a moment. Welcome back to this edition of Supervisors Report with the Chairman of the Board, sometimes called President, David Haubert. I've been thinking about the job that you do. I don't know if you have enough time to be able to do anything other than summarize it, but I wonder if you might share with us some of the things you encounter.
Well, Marshall, being the president does have a lot of extra commitments and responsibilities, and that's one of the reasons that we share the job of being president among all of us colleagues by rotating the job. I'm president was this past year, and I'll be president next year. And then after that, I'll rotate to Lena Tam, Supervisor Tam, and we will each take a turn being president. While we're president for the 2 years that we are, we have to help set the agenda for all of the weekly meetings. That takes a lot of time. The county administrator is constantly working with the board president, myself, and this year and next year to set the agenda. We're also responsible for helping to make assignments to all the various county commissions. So if a supervisor wants to appoint somebody from their county district to a county-wide commission, they go through the office of the president. We also assign committee assignments. I've assigned myself to the Transportation and Planning Committee, but I've assigned other colleagues to the Health and Human Services Committee, to the Public Safety Committee, to the Personnel, Administrative, and Legislative Committee. So we're also monitoring all of those committee meetings. It is a tremendous additional job to be the president of the board, which again we rotate. In addition to that, the president of the board often sits on regional boards. One of the boards that I sit on is the California State Association of Counties, all of the counties in California. And I'm proud to say that of the CSAC, California State Association of Counties, they have an executive committee. There are 5 county supervisors from the urban counties that are on the California Executive Committee. And I was recently selected to be one of those supervisors. So within the state of California, 5 of the counties that are urban counties sit on this executive committee, and I'm one of them. So that's, again, another additional responsibility that I have. I really enjoy being able to confer with other county supervisors all up and down the state. I really enjoy being able to work with the California State Association of Counties, which is a powerful organization unto itself, making a lot of progress with our legislators in Sacramento. When we support or oppose a bill, they listen. So we have a lot of influence that way. Being a member of the CSAC Executive Committee is a great honor. So we indeed have a lot on our plate as board president. I love doing it, but I will really be glad when next year is over and I get to say, Supervisor Tam, now it's your turn. And then I get to just be a supervisor again.
Well, but you do get to do a lot of travel, and sometimes even outside the United States.
We do, and in fact, Marshall, I'm really proud that I'm glad you brought that up. The Livermore Wine Valley is a jewel of a wine region. We all know this. It's time to tell our story on the national and global level. So we have created a network of sister wine regions, friends around the world that are similar to the Livermore Wine Valley. We hosted the first annual wine summit here in Livermore, and I'm proud to say the next international wine summit is going to be held in Hungary, Budapest, Hungary, and Dubrovnik, Croatia. 2 sister wine regions of themselves, an hour flight from each other. They will be hosting the global network that we've created over there. The next one after that, I think, is scheduled to be in France or Italy, I forget. But we're going to be bringing Livermore wines to the entire world, one region at a time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. But do you ever sponsor a person outside the United States to be a member of your staff here at home?
You know, that's another good tie into that. We did host 2 international interns to help work with the Livermore Valley Wine Growers Association. We did that 2 years in a row. The first came from Hungary, and in fact, as I mentioned, we're going to go visit Hungary. Titi is the intern that we hosted. Now she's hosting us when we go over there. We had another student from Mexico, a student intern. They're working on their master's programs, Marshall. We're hosting them, as the sponsor for their ability to have a student visa to come live in America, study in America, and they were an intern in my office and an intern in the Livermore Wine Growers Association office, and I just co-sponsored them. It was great to have them visit, and someday we'll probably go visit the wine region in Mexico, again, bringing Livermore wines to the global stage.
But this is not just necessarily an offer to them. They've benefited your office. I've seen them in action.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, in their wisdom, BOSS, that's the Board of Supervisors,
Yes.
has designated a 2-year tenure for its president. What are a few issues that you've attended to where you've received benefit from the time that you've spent on them so far?
Some projects, Marshall, just take longer than a year. And so to have the continuity of the board president to serve more than just 1 year, every year you're changing, you're just getting used to the new role, and then you have to change again. So it really was wise. And some cities do that, by the way. The mayor rotates every year. In our case, we found that the county needs to have a little more stability, allow each person to be president for 2 years so they can have continuity across projects and across the issues that are facing the county. We found it more stable to have a 2-year cycle. Now, you know, with a 4-year term and a 2-year cycle, you can do the math. It would take 10 years to get through the cycle before you would have another turn at the cycle. The thing about Alameda County is we don't have term limits, and so our board has been able to be very stable over the years. And as supervisors can serve more than just 6 or 8 years, we find that people become board president more than one time.
Right, just
So
ask
it's a
Charlie
good thing.
Santana.
Ask Charlie Santana. Ask Nate Miley. He was board president twice. Yeah. Keith Carson, board president more than once. And we'll see how long I last in my job, Marshall. All I know is I'll be glad when I'm done, and we'll give it to the rest of the board to take their turn.
Amen. How often do you publish the District 1 newsletter, and how many residents sign up for it?
Well, I'm very proud of the District 1 newsletter, and I've had a lot of compliments on it, Marshall, but the real compliments go to my staff. A small secret is that I have a great staff that writes the newsletter. We try to get it out about once a month, and it's chock full of helpful information. And again, as I mentioned, we get a lot of compliments of it. What I did, which I think is maybe, I don't know if the other districts do this, I took every registered voter who's in my district and had an email address attached to their voter registration, which is public information. And I emailed all of them with the chance to stay in or get out. If you don't want to receive the newsletter, that's okay. There's about 65,000 people that have an email attached to their voter registration. And over half of them open the email every month rather. That means it's about a 50% engagement rate. Over 30,000 people read my newsletter religiously. And you don't have to be a registered voter to sign up for it. Anybody can sign up for it. We have about 40,000 total sign up for it. So people that aren't even registered to vote, they may even not be a citizen of the United States. They get my newsletter because I make it available to everyone, and it has information that can serve everyone. Again, I know, and we'll put the link, if anybody watching this show wants to sign up for it. We have a QR code that people can scan, or they can just go online to the link that we're going to put on the screen right now, and they can sign up for my newsletter. Again, over 40,000 people read the newsletter every month.
That's incredible. And my hat's off to you. Are there any other social media outlets that residents can find out about?
Yeah, so that's another one. I'm trying to do a better job of using Facebook and Instagram and even Twitter, now called X, by making posts.
I've noticed them myself.
I appreciate that. That space is very crowded, and it's not a dedicated newsletter like my newsletter, but it's a crowded space, but I feel I have to be there. Other elected officials are there. It is a good way to grab people's attention. You mentioned you come across them. And so I'm trying to do an even better job of being timely with, I feel like this, we need to engage people wherever they are. If they want to read an email, great. If they would rather be on social media, we'll find a way to get to you.
You should be on TV.
Thank you, Marshall.
Are there some upcoming events you might like to talk about?
I want to wish everyone happy holidays and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I know that when we come back, it'll be the new year. This is a time for people to spend with family, a time for people to still finish the year strong, but get things done for themselves. And we know the days are shorter, the nights are longer. It's going to be that way till the new year comes, Marshall, and then we're going to go back into the new year. The days will get longer, and we'll be right into summer before we know it. Take time to relax, be with family, and decompress a little bit and plan for the new year. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, thank you, Supervisor, for being here today. I really enjoy it, and I know our viewers do as well. I'm Dr. Marshall Kamina. Join us for the next episode of Supervisors Report with David Haubert right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you so much for watching.